Hello my dear students, welcome to mathematics class. Today we are going to discuss about the new chapter within the trigonometry, and the name of the chapter is periodicity and extreme values. What is the name of the chapter? Periodicity and extreme values. So in this video, let us discuss about the periodicity. What is the periodicity and what is the period of a particular trigonometric function, and these are the things what we are going to discuss now. Are you ready? So coming to the definition of a periodicity. So look at the definition everybody. A real function f mapping from capital A to capital R. Okay, so one is the domain and other one is the codomain, and these are the things you are going to learn in the chapter functions. So right now just try to understand this definition. So a real function, that is some function, will be denoted as f, which is mapping from capital A to capital R, is said to be a periodic function. Is said to be a periodic function if there exists a positive real number p. If there exists a positive real number p, p is the positive real number, okay, such that f of x plus p is equals to f of x. Do you understand here? The condition is, if f of x plus p is equals to f of x for all x belongs to the domain, that is capital A, then f of x is said to be the periodic function of p. And moreover, you know, the least positive real number of p. Sometimes what happen here, p can be more values. P can be more values. Then everything cannot be considered as the period of the same function. No? So for a single function, definitely the period is a fixed one, only one. So now look at here, the least positive real number p. I mean among the all existence values of the p, in that the least positive one, that to real number, is considered as the period of that particular function. Okay. Anyhow, if we go with some example, then only you can able to understand this concept. Okay, so please remember, basically p is the smallest positive real number, least positive real number, and moreover you please try to remember that f of x plus p is equals to f of x. Okay, ma'am. These are the only two conditions. When you hear the word periodicity, please remember the condition that if f of x plus p is equals to f of x, then the value, the least value of p is called the period of that particular function. So coming to theorem number 1, f of x is equals to sin x here, and clearly sin x is a periodic function with the period 2 pi. Okay, so let us see now first of all what is here coming to proof. Given f of x is equals to sin x, right ma'am? So now we need to check it about f of x plus something p is nothing but actually sin x only, is it? No, f of x plus p is equals to, you must get it again the same original function, that is sin x. If it is true, then the least value of p is called that particular function's period. Anyhow, now f of x plus, for example 0 I cannot take here, you know my dear, p is the positive real number, isn't it? P is the positive real number, so cannot be 0, and p is maximum other than 0, in between 0 to 2 pi, because least one, no? Actually there exist many values after the 2 pi also, but within that definitely the least one that comes under p lies between 0 to 2 pi, 2 pi can be involved here. Okay. So now let us see f of x plus p value I want to find out. I mean sine of x plus something. 0 and anyhow I cannot go for it. Then let us check it, sine of x plus pi by 2 and sine of x plus pi, even sine of x plus 3 pi by 2, isn't it? And even sine of x plus 2 pi, isn't it? 90, 180, 270 and 360. Especially these angles cannot be negative because these are I am writing in the place of p, and clearly we mentioned that p is a least positive real number. That's why p I mentioned p can be from in between, not from, in between 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 360 degrees, and can be equals to 360 also. Now let us find out these values. What about these values? See, because of 90, this is just like 90 plus x. Because of 90, sine changes into cos, hence this is equals to first of all cos of cos x. And what is which quadrant? This is 90 plus theta. So clearly 90 plus theta is the second quadrant, right ma? So in the second quadrant anyhow sine is positive. So which is equal to cos x. But what we need to get actually, f of x plus p is equal to f of x. This is not f of x, no? So clearly I can write that which is not at all f of x, because f of x is sin x. I mean pi by 2 is not the period of this function sin x. Then let us see what about this one. Now because of 180, no doubt sine is sine itself, sin x. But you know my dear, 180 plus theta comes under third quadrant. In third quadrant, which is negative again, is it? No, sine is negative, so minus sin x. So we got sin x but with minus, so finally this is also not even equals to f of x, right? Now coming to here, however, because of 3 pi by 2, 270, sine changes into cos x, and 270 plus theta, 270 plus theta is anyhow fourth quadrant ma, so this is negative. I mean this is also not at all equals to f of x, right? Now look at about this one now. Because of 2 pi, that is 360, then sine remains sine itself, and moreover 360 plus theta comes under first quadrant. No doubt in first quadrant sine is positive, hence sine of x plus 2 pi is equals to sin x, which is equals to no doubt f of x. I mean f of x plus p is equals to f of x, isn't it? And what is in the place of p ma here? 2 pi, isn't it? Actually here there is no existence of value of p more than one value. So there exists only one value per p, and that is itself the least one also here. So hence from this definition, this is in the form of f of x plus p is equals to f of x. In the place of p, what we substituted? 2 pi. Hence f of x is equal to sin x. Hence sin x is a periodic function, and moreover the period is nothing but 2 pi. So do you understand here? Point number 1, my dear, all the trigonometric functions are periodic functions. All the periodic functions, all the trigonometric functions are periodic functions. So every trigonometric function obey this rule, that is f of x plus p is equal to f of x. But p is different p values for different functions. For example here sin x, then its period is what it is ma? 2 pi. Similarly the reciprocal of sin x, you know no, everybody? Cosecant x. So similarly we can also prove that cosecant x is also a periodic function, right ma? And period is nothing but, with the period is again 2 pi. Do you understand now? So what I told you, point number 1, all the trigonometric functions are, all the trigonometric basic ratios, that is sine, cos, tan, cot, cosecant, secant, or all these trigonometric functions are, ratios are especially periodic functions, right? In that we discussed now period of sin x and period of cosecant x, and both are equals to 2 pi. Both are equals to 2 pi, right? So coming to the next theorem, f of x is equals to sine and cosecant are completed, no? For example, cos x. You know, cos x is also a periodic function with period again 2 pi. Okay. So let us check whether it is true or not. So what is f of x is clearly given that cos x. Now I want f of x plus p. That is what cos of x plus something, that p. Let us replace the p. P cannot be negative. Actually you may get one doubt that why can't we go with minus pi by 2, minus pi, minus 3 by pi 2, etc, etc. So clearly we discussed, if you consider here minus, 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 then it won't obey the basic definition itself, because p is a, what it is, a positive real number first of all. And if two or more positive real numbers are existing, then in that we will consider that least positive real number as its period. Okay ma? Fine. Now we need to go for cos of x plus pi by 2, cos of x plus pi, and cos of x plus 3 pi by 2, as well as cos of x plus 2 pi. So because of 90, cos changes into sin x, and 90 plus theta, second quadrant, cos is clearly negative. So clearly we must get cos x, no? But we got some other one, hence it is not at all equals to f of x. So this is not even a period. Now coming to here, yeah, of course, because of 180, this is cos x, and 180 plus theta, third quadrant, even though it is negative, so once again not equals to f of x. And coming to here, and this is equals to sin x because of 3 pi by 2, and 270 plus theta, fourth quadrant, cos anyhow positive, but we want to get cos x, but not this one. So hence once again it is not equals to f of x. Therefore look at this, because of 360, cos remains as cos itself, and 360 plus theta, clearly first quadrant, all are positive. So cos x we got, cos x is nothing but f of x, so which is equals to f of x. So once again it obeys only the last condition. See, clearly this is in the form of f of x plus p is equals to f of x. And what is the p here? So p is nothing but, actually there exists only one value, isn't it? If more than one values are existing for p, then we will consider only least among that positive real number. So finally here the period p is nothing but cos. Hence cos x is a periodic function with period 2 pi. Okay, and similarly what is its reciprocal function? Cos reciprocal is nothing but secant x, no? Hence note that similarly secant x is also a periodic function with period 2 pi. So now it is very easy to remember also for you, isn't it? Sin x or sin theta, x can be replaced with anything, isn't it? Sin x, cos x, and their reciprocals cosecant x and secant x. So all these are periodic functions, and their period is nothing but, what is the period of all these four functions? Period is 2 pi. Okay ma? Right. Now look at the next theorem. Tan x. If f of x is equals to tan x, then clearly tan x is also a periodic function, but you know the period of tan x is nothing but pi. So let us solve this. Okay, given that f of x is equals to some tan x, now f of x plus p is equals to tan of x plus p, right? So now we need to check once again. So this is the simplest way to understand, right ma'am? So see, first let me want to go with tan of x plus pi by 2 followed by tan of x plus pi, x plus 3 pi by 2, and tan of x plus 2 pi, right? So fine, look at here. Now because of 90, tan changes into cot x, and moreover second quadrant, no, so negative, then not at all equals to f of x. Now coming to here, because of 180, tan is tan x only. But second 180 plus theta, third quadrant, right? Third quadrant. So in third quadrant, obviously tan is a positive. So that means which is equals to f of x. Right, children? Now coming to here, because of 270, tan changes into cot x, and 270 plus theta, which is fourth quadrant, hence tan negative. Of course, which is not even equals to f of x, right? Now look at this point now. You can understand now very well. So, because of 360, tan remains as tan itself, and moreover 360 plus theta, first quadrant. So anyhow positive. So which is equal to f of x. You know, my dear, see, we got two conditions which are satisfying f of x plus p is equals to f of x. Tan of x plus pi is also tan x. Tan of x plus 2 pi is also tan x. Here in the place of p, we have pi. And here we have 2 pi. Isn't it? But as per the definition what I told you, if there exists more than one value for p, then among that we need to choose least positive. So pi and 2 pi. Within this, the least one is nothing but pi. Hence tan x is a periodic function with the period pi. So now not only tan x, what is its reciprocal for cot? No? Reciprocal of tan x is nothing but cot x. Hence cot x is also a periodic function with the period pi. Fine. Hence you see what we can say about tan x and cot x. And its period is nothing but, what is the period of tan and cot? Which is equals to pi. So look at that, very easy to remember now. Except tan and cot, rest of them all are having period 2 pi. Whereas tan and cot period is nothing but equals to pi. And also from this we can say that, see, all these trigonometric ratios are periodic functions only. They are all obeying the condition f of x plus p is equals to f of x. Now if you read the definition, definitely you are going to understand the definition of periodicity. See now, a real function f mapping from a to r is said to be a periodic function if there exists a positive real number p, okay, positive real number p, such that the condition f of x plus p is equals to f of x for all x belongs to a. Then the least positive real number p is called its period. Okay. So when you hear the word about periodicity and period, both are same. Periodicity and period both are same. Don't worry. Then you must remember this is the condition number 1. F of x plus p is equal to f of x. And moreover you need to remember condition number 2. P is clearly a positive real number, that which lies between 0 to equals to 360. Okay. And this is the third point you need to remember, that when there exists more than one value of p which satisfies the condition f of x plus p is equal to f of x, then we need to choose least positive real number as its period. Right? So look at these 2 points. Point number 1. If f is a periodic function with period p, then you know minus f is also a periodic function with the same period p. Is it clear? If f is a function, f is a periodic function with period p, then minus f is also a periodic function with the same period p. Okay. Now look at this second point. If f of x is a periodic function, if f of x is a periodic function with the period p, okay, then f of ax plus b is also a periodic function with the period p by mod a. Do you understand this point? F of x is a periodic function with period p. Then f of ax plus b, something, some coefficient, isn't it? Not only x. Suppose some ax plus b. Then f of ax plus b is also a periodic function, but not with the same period p. The period can be p by mod a. That means we need to divide with the coefficient of x. For example, see, we know that period of sin x is nothing but is how much? 2 pi. Fine. Now what is the period of sin ax? You know, sin ax is 2 pi by its coefficient. What is the coefficient of x? A, no? With that we need to divide modulus value. Actually this is also here, but here you know what is the coefficient of x? 1. So actually 2 pi by modulus 1, which is equals to 2 pi only. Now you know, my dear, what is the period of sin of ax plus b? So which is clearly 2 pi by, don't bother about the constant, whether constant present or absent, it doesn't matter, but look at the coefficient of x. If coefficient of x is other than 1, then definitely you must write it. So what is here? Modulus of a. Now can you tell me what is the period of sin 2x? So period of sin 2x is clearly 2 pi by modulus of 2, right? Because of coefficient is 2. Now 2 gets cancelled, hence which is equals to pi. Therefore pi is the periodicity of sin 2x, my dear. Fine. Now can you tell me what is the periodicity of sin of 2x plus 3? Even sin of 2x plus 3 is also 2 pi by mod a, which is mod 2. 2 gets cancelled, which is equals to pi only. Sin 2x value, sin 2x periodicity is pi. Even sin of 2x plus 3 periodicity is also pi. And sin of 2x plus suppose 100, even though its periodicity is pi only. Its periodicity is pi only. Understand, ma? So we are least bothering about what is in the place of b. Whether it is 0, whether it is positive, whether it is negative. But look at that coefficient of x. If coefficient of x is other than 1, then you must divide with that coefficient. So please remember this concept. If it is the function is in the form of f of ax plus b, then its period is nothing but p by mod a. My dear, can you tell me if the function is cos of 3x plus 4, then what about its period? Its period is actually is 2 pi by mod a, isn't it? 2 pi, cos means 2 pi, but it is something like ax plus b. So 2 pi by modulus of 3, which is 2 pi by 3. Okay. And suppose if I want the same with tan of 3x plus 4. You know, basically tan x period is pi, no? Tan x period is pi. But here pi should be multiplied with coefficient, that is by 3. Pi by mod 3. Better you can write mod 3 and modulus 3. And finally you need to take only the absolute value. Did you get my point now, everybody? So not only p, with the coefficient we need to divide. So basically there can be 2 pi. If it is 2 pi, then we will write 2 pi by mod a. If coming to tan and cot pi, no, then pi by mod a. For example, tell me cot of 5x minus 3, for example. Then its period is nothing but basically cot period is pi, but here coefficient of x is something, that is modulus of pi. So with this point, what you came to know that along with the periodicity maybe pi or maybe 2 pi, and we need to divide with its coefficient of x also. Right? So look at these functions first of all, and let us find the period of these particular functions. For example, first one is a sine of 3x by 2. 3x by 2. So basically for sine, period is, what is the period is 2 pi, right, ma? By and the coefficient of x is what it is? 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 is in the place of a. So modulus of 3 by 2. Finally, which is equals to 4 pi by 3 is the period. What it is? 4 pi by 3 is the period of sine of 3x by 2. Now you see, my dear, coming to here, this problem I can shuffle like this: 4x by 5 minus 9 by 5. So basically for cos, what is the period is 2 pi, and now by a, in the place of a, now we have 4 by 5 modulus. So which is equals to finally 10 pi by 4. Of course 5 times and 2 times 2 table. So hence the period is nothing but 5 pi by 2. Okay. Now coming to secant. So basically secant also the period is nothing but, what is the period? What is the period of secant? Period is nothing but 2 pi. So 2 pi by modulus of 2. 2 gets cancelled. Hence the period of secant of 2x minus 3 is pi. So I hope you all understood about the periodicity. Okay, this is fine when it is a single function, maybe sine, maybe cos, maybe tan, then it is very clear and very easy to find out its period or periodicity. But the question is, what happens if when two or more functions are involving in this? For example, you need to find out the periodicity of sine 3x plus 2 plus tan of 5x. For example, this is the question, right? Now its periodicity is 2 pi by 3 and its periodicity is nothing but pi by 5. Now what to do? Now here we got 2 pi by 3 is the period, and here we got the pi by 5 as the period. Now what is the together the periodicity of the entire given question? So for that, this note gives you the answer. Read this carefully. If for example there are two functions, okay, one is f of x and one is g of x, and if the periods of these two functions are mp and np, something, isn't it? I mean, mp is the period of the function f of x and np is the period of g of x, just like this, isn't it? mp, np. Then where m and n are positive integers, and moreover f of x plus alpha not equals to g of x, isn't it? And similarly g of x plus alpha also not equals to f of x. This must be very clear, no? Because f of x plus alpha should be equals to f of x as per the periodicity definition, but should be not equals to g of x. That meaning is, similarly this is also. Now for any alpha belongs to R, then the period of, so combination of two functions f of x plus g of x or f of x minus g of x, okay, maybe with plus or maybe with minus. I mean, sum of the two functions or difference of the two functions, or their division, suppose f of x by g of x is nothing but, you know my dear, kp. What it is? K into p. What is meant by k? K is nothing but here LCM of m comma n, isn't it? See, one is mp, another periodicity is np. Now here we need to find out for m and n the LCM. Hence coming to this question, you know, the finally periodicity is nothing but LCM of 2 pi by 3 comma pi by 5. Whatever it may be the LCM, that is the finally period of the given functions. So nothing but very clear, when two or more functions are involving, my dear, so please find out individually their periods. First function period and second function period. Finally the resultant is nothing but the LCM of both the periods. So for example, look at this question now. Find the periods of the following. In that question is 5 into cos 3x plus 3 into tan 3x. So first of all, my dear, we need to find the period of cos 3x and tan 3x. You least bother about these coefficients. These are we don't want. we always want to bother about what is ax plus b, right? So 5 and 3, least bother about them. They are one way useless for us. Now coming to cos 3x period is 2 pi by 3. And this is pi by 3. Isn't it, for tan? Now therefore, finally period, if you want, say suppose this is the function sum f of x. Let it be f of x. Hence period of f of x is nothing but LCM of 2 pi by 3 comma pi by 3. Okay. So what is 2 pi by 3 comma pi by 3? I mean nothing but LCM of 2 pi by 3. 2 into 60, 120, and which is nothing but 60. So clearly what it is? 120 degrees, no? So therefore periodicity P is nothing but 2 pi by 3 is the period. Okay. So similarly, look at the question is about second question. Say suppose this is some g of x, which is 3 sine x by 2 plus 4 cos x by 2. Right? So here also we don't want to bother about the coefficient of sines, that is 3 and 4 we don't want. Just you look at the function. This is the function. Sine x by 2 is the function and cos x by 2 is the one more function. So coming to sine, basically period is 2 pi and this should be multiplied by the coefficient is 1 by 2, modulus of 1 by 2. And I think this is also same, no? For cos also 2 pi and must be divided by 1 by 2. So I mean this is equals to 4 pi comma this is also 4 pi. So no doubt, therefore LCM of 4 pi comma 4 pi, when both are same, then very easy. Hence LCM is nothing but 4 pi. Therefore the period of the given function we treated as g of x, no? So which is equals to 4 pi. So in this way, my dear, when there are two or more functions are involving, so we need to go for LCM and then decide the period. For example, this is the question. We need to find the period of sine power 4x plus cos power 4x. But we know only for sine x. The period of sine x we know, but we did not know about sine square x, sine cube x and sine power 4x periodicity directly. So here you know, whatever it may be the function is given to you. So you need to convert into the form of sine of ax plus b. That is the concept. So let it be, assume the given function as f of x. So this finally I want to write as sine square x whole square x plus cos square x whole square x. I mean this is in the form of a square plus b square. Can be written as a plus b whole square minus 2ab. So according to that I can write it as sine square x plus cos square x whole square minus 2 into sine square x into cos square x. Okay, ma? So clearly this is 1 whole square minus. So is this, can we write 1 by 2 into 4 sine square x cos square x, because still we don't know the periodicity of squaring of the functions. So let me want to multiply and divide with here 2. So that is 1 minus 1 by 2 into, this is everything I can write it as 2 sine x into cos x entirely whole square, which is equals to 1 minus 1 by 2 into sine square 2x. Sine square 2x. Now what about the sine square theta can be written as? Sine square theta can be written as, see, sine square theta, do you remember? Earlier we discussed sine square theta is equals to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2, isn't it? 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. This is the formula, we can use it here. So now 1 minus 1 by 2 into So coming to this 1 minus cos 2 theta means 4x entirely divided by 2. So which is 1 minus, if you multiply this is minus 1 by 4, isn't it? Minus into minus plus 1 by 4 into cos 4x. Now 1 minus 1 by 4, which is 3 by 4 plus 1 by 4 into cos 4x. You see, finally there is no square, there is no cube, is it? No, there is no power, only power is 1. So finally that power 4 is converted into 4. Now you know, entirely if you want periodicity of this function, first one is clearly algebra. So constant function. For algebra, no periodicity will be existing. So finally this is nothing but you need to find out only and the periodicity of cos 4x, because 1 by 4 also we least bother, no, we won't take it into account. And first one is algebra, so leave it. Algebra functions are not at all periodic functions, only trigonometric functions are the periodic. And so coming to here, 1 by 4 anyhow multiple, this is also we won't bother. Now finally we need to find out the period of cos 4x, and cos 4x periodicity is nothing but 2 pi by modulus of 4, I mean which is equals to pi by 2. Hence the periodicity of the entire given function is nothing but pi by 2. See how beautifully we converted. So whatever it may be, the power is given to you. So try to reduce into some multiple. We can write for cos 8x. We can write for cos 100x. We can write the periodicity for cos 1000x. But we have no formula for cos cube x periodicity and cos power 5x periodicity, etc. etc. When these type of powers are given to you, try to reduce into some multiples and then find the periodicity.